of the day is Premier Investments updating the market with its half-year results. Of course, it is, it has stakes in, it's got Just Jeans, Peter Alexander, Portmans, and Smiggle, of course, also with stakes in Myer and Breville. In fact, we're going to hear from the thoughts of the chairman, Solomon Lew, but they're looking at opening Peter Alexander stores in the UK and a Smiggle store in Indonesia. So just in terms of its half-year results, group sales falling 2.85% to $890 million for the half-year end at the end of January. First half earnings before interest and tax of almost $210 million, which topped the $200 million forecast. Statutory net profit $177 million, up 1.65%, with an interim dividend of 63 cents a share. That's down from 70 cents. Chairman Solomon Lew saying the spin-off of Star Brands is underway, with a demerger of the stationery brand Smiggle expected by the end of January next year. The company also exploring a demerger of the Peter Alexander brand, and he described Premier as an asset and earnings-rich company where the core businesses are totally undervalued by the market at the current stock price. Do our experts agree, Francesco?
I'd say they're way overvalued by the market at the moment. Look, personally, I look at this stock and I look at the PE multiple it trades on, which is depending on the earnings estimates that you look at. But anywhere you look at consensus, anywhere in the high teens to low 20 times earnings. To me, that's a bit over the top. I think it's a little bit expensive. It's in retail, so these interest rates are already starting to bite into households. We haven't seen a lot of mortgage defaults, but what we're hearing is that there is a lot of mortgage stress around, which means that this type of discretionary spending does get pared back quite a bit by households. So I'd be saying to reduce this one, if not sell it altogether. I think it's expensive. Its previous highs were around $32. We have a valuation of around 20. I've seen other valuations of 28, probably the highest I've seen. I think that at nearly $32 or thereabouts is or $31.50 where we are trading at the moment is expensive. So I'd be reducing, if not selling altogether.
All right, not exactly believing then what Solomon Lew has to say. Well, he does have the Midas touch, doesn't he?
Look, they've done well, and they're looking at demerging businesses, but that to me indicates that why are we selling? Why are they selling? Basically, if you're demerging or offloading a business, why are you selling it? You think there's too much value in the price that you'll get for it, and I think that's across the board in that retail space.
Rudi.
Yeah, I sort of agree with Francesco. I think part of the share price rally that we've seen recently is because the market picked up that this was going to be announced, and clearly the market is excited about it. It's that old BHP South 32 story. If it stays in the group, it never gets the real attention. If you set it free, it might actually achieve better things than being part of the group. Now, clearly, they are of the view that the share price, on the basis of the assets they have, should be higher. They think they will unlock that by setting them free, basically on their own little feet. I would argue you are actually creating two small businesses that will be listed, I'm assuming. They become by default takeover targets for someone else, and maybe that's also part why the market is excited. Peter Alexander and Smiggle have been now for years the growth engines for Premier Investments. It does question then. I'm assuming that they will keep a stake in both businesses, but we don't need to see the details. I think in general terms, I'd agree with Francesco. I think the upside, if not fully, but it's to a large extent already priced in here because the market knew what was coming. You still get your dividends. You still have the uncertainty about what exactly is the outlook for retail spending, depending on the horizon and why you own it and everything. But it all equally so. These processes are long processes. So I would say at the best you can hold it, and but I would tend to agree with Francesco. I'm not so sure whether there's a lot of upside here because it's the same respects. spinning off these assets, it's a long drawn out process. And in the meantime, I'm not so sure whether they will see an acceleration in consumer spending.
Okay, so a hold, but what, tempted perhaps trim
Yes.
at these levels?
Yes.
Yep, okay. We're both agreeing then on our stock of the day, which is Premier Investments.